There is a specific nightmare that almost every aspiring author eventually faces. You spend months, sometimes years, staring at a screen, pouring your energy into a raw idea, typing out tens of thousands of words. And then you reach the end, only to realize the plot is broken, the pacing drags, and the market doesn't actually want the story you've told. The mistake usually happens on day one. Most writers sit down and start drafting chapter 1 based on a loose premise. They build a house without pouring a foundation first, skipping the critical step of stress testing their concept against a validated framework. Readers care about the quality of their experience, not the mechanics of the process. The real divide in modern publishing separates those who write with a governing framework from those who write without one. The rapid writer methodology treats story architecture as an observable science. Using this system, you can verify your story's mechanics before you invest weeks into drafting. This process takes exactly 30 minutes. Passion is a necessary starting point, but relying on it alone is a high-stakes gamble. A disciplined framework provides a reliable architecture for that passion to inhabit. The 30-minute validation process starts with a free tool called the Cozy Mystery Concept Builder. Step 1 is finding the tonal thesis. Before you figure out your plot, you must define the emotional contract your book makes with the reader. This thesis follows a strict formula: tone, setting, sleuth, crime, and stakes. A generic pitch has no emotional signature, but a baker navigating a divorce who stumbles into poisoning, that specificity creates the tension required for a reader to care. Step 2 involves using AI to attack your idea before you invest significant time in it. You prompt the tool to act as a brutally honest literary agent, identifying every structural weakness in the premise. You instruct this digital agent to evaluate your premise against 5 strict criteria: market fit, sleuth sustainability, setting richness, tone coherence, and differentiation. It catches failure modes, like a setting that feels like generic wallpaper, before you write a single scene. By the end of this exercise, you walk away with a concept one-pager. This document serves as a validated reference point for your entire outline. Subjecting a raw idea to an objective stress test shifts your approach to the writing process. It replaces blind hope with a documented plan. This 30-minute validation is the entry point. The same logic drives 3 distinct toolkits designed to handle the specific requirements of different genres. The Cozy Mystery Toolkit takes your initial one-pager and expands it into the genre's 5 pillars. It introduces mechanical tools, like a clue ledger, to ensure every secret you plant is balanced against a specific reveal. The rules change for the historical fiction toolkit. Here, the structural requirement is a moral lens. You must identify the specific historical constraint. The framework uses AI to rapidly audit drafts for anachronisms, leaving only period-accurate data points. Then there is the narrative nonfiction toolkit. Its primary governing rule is immersion over information. The goal is to let the reader experience the story through reconstructed scenes rather than receiving a dry briefing of the facts. This framework uses AI to parse massive document loads, identifying narrative threads in raw data. It helps separate a subject's public myth from the private human cost hidden underneath. Raw facts and creative ideas are abundant. But structural execution, tailoring those ideas to the specific, non-negotiable rules of a genre, is what separates a hobbyist draft from a professional manuscript. AI is incapable of making the creative choices that define a book's identity. It cannot select the moral lens of a tragedy or determine the specific emotional tone of a memoir. Those decisions remain entirely with the author. AI serves as a catalyst for creative momentum. It bypasses the blank pages paralysis by generating raw material for your human instinct to shape. Adhering to the structural architecture of a genre aligns your work with established reader expectations, providing a tested roadmap for your book's development. Stop staring at a blank page. Download the concept builder, put your idea to the test, and validate your book right now. The primary barrier to a finished book is rarely a lack of inspiration. It is usually a lack of structural discipline. That is a problem you can solve in exactly half an hour.